A very good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Tuesday, the 15th of January 2019. Welcome along to the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire for this morning's United Kingdom talk with yours truly, Chris Reardon, on a beautiful day out there when I got up. As I get out of my bedroom, I go past a glass door. It's like a frost. You can't quite see out, but I could already see the sun was about to rise. I got up a little bit later this morning. Anyway, I opened the door to the living room. Guess what I've left on all night? Oh yes, the gas fire. Not the mobile one, the installed one with the flue going out the roof. And I thought, oh, it's a bit warm in it. That's twice I've done that now. I must remember. I don't know why I do that. I must remember to turn the gas fire off before I go to bed. How much does that cost? 6 hours of gas going up the chimney. Anyway, I've got a little bit of an ulcer on the side of my tongue. Actually, it's quite a large one, actually. I can feel it there. And it's annoying me. And it's making my mouth water. So we might only be here for 3 minutes today. I mean, can you just imagine me being able to talk for just 3 minutes? Exactly. Yes. So I came through and out of the kitchen window. There it is, the sun rising just on the left-hand side of the caravan. Oh, it's just beautiful this morning. Beautiful. I just wish I hadn't left the fire on. Anyway, I had my breakfast and that's it. Here we are this morning. Have you noticed anything different? Anything different at all? Do you think I might have had a little delivery yesterday? Look at this. My new pineapple jacket. Isn't it fantastic? Would you like me to do a twirl? Look at this. Look at this. Pineapples. Pineapple jacket. You want one, don't you? Huh? There's another two on their way. These jackets they're only thin, okay? They're actually very well made. And what surprised me with this one is that it's got pockets, look, that are actually pockets. It actually has pockets. A lot of jackets, you'll find they've got the flap, but there's nothing under there. It must be awful, isn't it, ladies, having a flap with nothing actually under there? But that's the case with most jackets that you buy, certainly the expensive ones. This has got actual pockets. I love it. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, I don't know about that. And I wore it last night at the karaoke. Those of you that were there would have seen that. And it went down a treat. People quite liked it. And as always, someone found fault. Go on, guess who? Who do you think found fault with the jacket last night? Ray Reynolds. Yep. He came out, I said, what do you reckon on this, Ray? And he came out. Now, what do you think the first thing he said was? Oh, I like the pineapples. No. Oh, I like the white with the pineapples. No. Oh, I like the colour. No. Oh, it fits you all right. No. The first thing he said, oh, it needs an iron. There you go, another one. Looking for faults all the time. You see them sometimes. Karaoke people sitting at the front of the stage, and the moment something goes wrong, they're whispering in each other's ears. Don't think I don't notice these things. And it's no good doing it, then looking up at me, seeing if I notice that you're talking about me, and then shutting up, because I can tell. I have the eye of time. I know what's going on in your sad, lonely, pathetic lives at all times. Thank you very much. Yes. So yesterday, finished the karaoke last night about 11 o'clock, as we always do on a Monday. And I left. I was in the car by I don't know how I managed that. I was in the car by about 6 or 7 minutes past 11. Got all green lights right the way through. No traffic anywhere. No roadworks anywhere. I was here in 2 hours and 25 minutes last night. That's good, isn't it? And I don't speed. I don't speed ever. I never speed, so I'm very, very pleased with that. 2 hours 25 minutes to get here. I got so about 25 to 2. I walked in the door, put a kettle on, put the gas fire on full blast. I actually have two gas fires in the living room, a mobile one and one that's installed. They both go on for a while, and then I turn one up once it's reached its nice, pleasant temperature. So the kettle's on, brought my bags in. I haven't got much to bring up at the moment. I'm taking less clothes up at the moment because I've only got another. There's this week, then next week. Let me think. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 20. I've only got another 2 weeks here. And then I can't come February, March. So you don't want to really leave anything here to gather mould, or not mould, but damp. I suppose you could get mould, couldn't you, really, when you think about it? If you're not careful. If you haven't ventilated, you'll get mould, but I've got good ventilation here. And so I don't want to bring too many clothes up at the moment. I want to use what's here and then gradually, you know, it'll go down in the next couple of weeks. So I'm not having to bring much up at the moment either. So I just brought in my one bag, a few little bits and pieces, me pills, and that's it. I had my cup of tea, went to bed. I was in bed by, let's see, what, 25, what did I say? 25, about 10 past 2 I was in bed by. Perfect. Lovely. Although, once again, I had trouble sleeping. I was not uncomfortable in the bed. Not uncomfortable, just trouble sleeping. Don't know why. Maybe it's the electric blanket, because when I get into that bed, that electric blanket's been on number 9. You know, on a scale of 0 to 9, it goes on number 9, and I'll turn it off before I get in there. And oh, it's lovely, that is. Oh, it's lovely getting into bed like that. And I've learnt now to position the pillow underneath the covers, right? Because on a cold night, like it was last night, it was cold last night, on a cold night, you get into bed, legs, feet, body, all warm, and then you put your head on the pillow, and the pillow's freezing cold. So I've learnt now to put the pillow under the bed as well, to warm that through nice and early as well. Very, very nice indeed. So that was my journey last night, which was rather wonderfully assisted by a lovely long phone call from non-Irish Mary from Ireland. I was on the phone on my hands-free thing for about almost an hour to Mary last night. I do like to have a chat with her. I mean, I do a lot of listening, to be honest. I do a lot of listening. She does a lot of chatting. But it's so nice to be able to spend that time doing something rather than just driving, you know. So she's blasting away in the ear holes. And that was nice. And, of course, also assisted by Maureen's delightful sandwiches that she makes me. When I come up here, she makes me... Actually, she makes them on Friday as well sometimes. She don't always come Friday, Maureen, to the karaoke. And I had those as well last night on the way up here, sandwiches and a couple of bags of crisps. So by the time I get here, it was nice. But I did have, now Glenda, I did have some of these last night. I got back in and I still felt a little bit peckish, not very hungry. I'm looking around, I thought, well, I haven't got anything to eat in here, I'll just go to bed. And then I spotted these. This is something from the US of A. I think it was either Glenda. Yeah, this Glenda sent these in. Glenda sent these. These are Middlesworth Kitchen Fresh, artificially flavoured sour cream and onion flavoured potato chips, also known as crisps in this country. And they've come all the way from America. Now, where are these made? Is it Middlesworth? I think that's where they're made. So I thought I'd try some of these last night. Sour cream and onion. Now, I'm a big fan of cheese and onion crisps. Walker's cheese and onion crisps, and in particular, the Walker's Sensations cheddar cheese and chutney. They are really strong. I mean, what a taste they leave. Oh, they're absolutely delicious. I'm a big fan of those. So sour cream and onions, I'm thinking, well, that must be like cheese and onion. So I opened these yesterday, and I've had a couple of handfuls. I've really... Thank you, Glenda, for sending them. Horrible. Don't like them at all. It actually tastes like sour cream. I don't like the taste. But, that being said, thank you, Glenda, because we have to try new things, except Chinese food. I'm not having any of that. I'm not having anything foreign, dear. Very bad for you. My mum said if I ate foreign food, I would die. So I'm not going to eat any foreign food at all, ever in my life. I used to go on holidays and take... Oh, sorry, did I just knock the sound? I used to go on holidays and take tins of stuff. I'm not joking. I went to Barbados. I had one suitcase full of clothes and one suitcase full of tins of beans. That is absolutely true. I lie not. I lie not. But these not my cup of tea. If it's all right with you, I'm going to give these to my sister and the children. And they'll probably scoff them all up. But I wasn't keen on the flavour. But thank you very much, Glenda, for sending those over. I do appreciate that. All right, my darling. So that's what I had when I got in. And as I say, I went to bed. And that was fine. Horrible journey going from Bracknell to King's Cross again last night. Nearly 2 hours. You know, a half an hour of that going along the damn Euston Road. Oh, Christ. I'll be glad one day. One day I'll be doing that journey, and I think, oh, I've done this enough now. You know what I mean? That's all right. I do tend to carry things on for ages and ages, but I don't know. I mean, I'm all right at the moment, but there'll be a day that comes where I'll get stuck on that Euston Road for 3 hours, and then that'll be it. They'll throw everything up in the air. Not doing this journey anymore. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Be a bit like that. So that's on the Euston Road. We had who turned up last night? Brendan. That's it. Brendan, who often comes up and sends little messages on our show. Brendan turned up last night for the first time at the karaoke. He lives in Norfolk, so that's a bit of a journey to get to London for him, although I think he was staying there overnight last night. So nice to meet you, Brenda. What a lovely voice, Brendan. Lovely voice. Now, what did he sing? Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, and a faster one. I can't remember what it was. Did that one involve maracas? You know, sometimes there are songs that require certain instruments to be played. So I've always got a pair of maracas standing by and a tambourine and some cymbals. You don't hear the cymbals very often. The reason for that is that if I kept crashing them, you'd lose the effect. You know, you've got to be very careful where you do these instruments. That's it. And as I say, this arrived yesterday. It was quite, but just literally, you know, not too long before I was due to go, I saw this in the letter. It comes through the letterbox, you know, which apparently needs ironing, according to Ray Reynolds. And that's it. Also, I'm very pleased to say I have now provided antiseptic wipes for the microphones. So there we are. People always about, oh, you need some wipes for the microphones. Well, I've got them now. But it's very funny. You know, Toby was there last night. He's one of our regular Monday night singers. Lovely chap. And when he'd finished singing, I wiped the microphone. You know, of course, he was offended by that, assuming that he had a lot of germs coming out of his mouth. Ah, like the rest of you, dirty people. Do you mind brushing your teeth before you come and using my microphones? It's outrageous. It really is. Good. Okay, let's say hello to some of you this morning. Who's in the house today? Let's have a look at the old scoreboards. Starting off on YouTube with Mr. John Parrish. Good morning, Petal, he says. Good morning to Tony Power. He says, Chris, you are talking snow. You would think the powers that be in this country would be looking at the problems that their countries are experiencing now. I bet they haven't had havoc, I reckon. Oh, yeah. Yes, snow is coming, boys and girls. But I wouldn't believe the papers. They've got that bad on the continent at the moment, isn't they? Austria, I keep seeing these news reports here. People are snowed in, they can't go. But is that good for skiers? Or can you have, like British Rail used to say, the wrong type of snow? I don't know, really. Don't know how that works, but they've got it bad in Europe at the moment, the snow. Will it come here? We'll probably get a couple of days of it. You'll get a couple of days of it. You've already seen the news stories, you know, worst winter for 5,000 years and stuff like that. Every single year, these stories come round. And idiots repost them all on their Facebook feeds and things like that. And it don't happen. And then they tell us it's going to be the best summer for 500 years. Well, that was last year. That was last year. But they say the same stories every year. Worst winter for 200 years. We'll get 3, maybe 4 days worth of snow, and then that'll be it again. How is that the worst winter? In fact, up to this point now, I don't think we've had a winter. We've had a couple of days here, a couple of days there where it's a bit cold, but nothing to write home about, really. Well, you want to experience a proper winter, go to Siberia, dear, or Russia, or New York around there. That's bad. Oh, Christ, it's so cold in New York at this time of the year. It's awful. John likes the jacket. Thank you, John. Glad you like it. Eric, for or against Brexit? Well, we don't really do serious stuff. I'm for Brexit, Eric. I don't like the fact that we're controlled by another country. So I am for Brexit, if you want to know. Tony says, Chris, you're so tight using your old tablecloth to make a coat. How rude. Rude. Eric says Nigel Farage is quite a handful, isn't he? Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah. But you see, I like him. I like people for personality. I very much like Nigel Farage. I also very much like George Galloway, and they are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. I like people with personalities. You know, I don't like people who are, you know, like run-of-the-mill type people, boring people. And God knows we know enough of those, dear. We know enough boring people in our lives, don't we? Yes. John, where'd you get the jackets? Rosegale, the same place as I get the backdrops. Well, this backdrop's not from Rosegale. That's a blown-up photograph of just down the road there. Rosegale, ROSEGAL.com. Okay, and they're generally about 25 quid. They're not expensive. They come from China. You can be waiting 8 weeks for them to arrive sometimes, but they're well worth it. 25 quid. You know, for doing something like this or standing on a stage somewhere, I think they're excellent. You wait till you see the other two. They're on their way. They're on their way, okay? Eric doesn't think the broadcast is live. Well, it is now. If you're watching it later, then you can watch it as a recording. But Eric, I don't just come to the messages. I do more than just read out messages. So sometimes you wait a little bit, okay? That's how I do it. Tony says, snow is good, Chris. We will get a couple of days of it and the country collapses. Yeah, you're right, Tony. That's what happens. The country collapses. To be honest, we do need a bit of cold, because if we don't get any, there'll be so many wasps and things around next year. Oh my God, can you just imagine that? It was bad enough this year. The wasps, in particular, near where my sister lives in Woodall Spa. They got a co-op in Woodall Spa, you know, a shop that was surrounded by wasps. In fact, they even got in there. They had wasps in the shop at one point. Nightmare wasps last year. So we do need a bit of cold to get rid of all these insects. Good morning to Claire. Morning, Claire, who's loving the pineapples. Morning, Claire. Hope you're feeling a bit better, are you, Claire? You right, darling? She's got a cold for a little while, haven't you? Over on Facebook Live, let's say hello this morning to Matty James Perrin. Good morning, Matty. Hope you're well, you and your girl there. Katie Ann Patterson is in the house. Morning, Katie. Adrian Richardson, good morning. It's the big day today. Oh, yes, it's the big Brexit vote today. What's going to happen today? Okay, are you going to predict anything? Who wants to do the predictions? Who's going to do the predictions? Actually, that bloke who said, I don't think the show's live, can you not, look at the clocks. That would tell you if it was alive or not, wouldn't it? I'm sitting in the way of one of my clocks. Is that better? Ray Reynolds says, I've got too many clocks. He says, you only need one clock. I think we should have a wall full of these type of clocks. I like them. Or is that TikTok? Does that annoy you, that TikTok? I can stop that. You don't have to have that thing swinging like that if you don't want it. But yeah, if you want to know if the show's live or not, just look at the clocks behind me. Okay, many people watch a recording, so there we are. Morning to Ray Reynolds, who's with us today. Diane Jebb is in the house. Morning, Diane. Adam the plumber's there. Good morning, Adam. Yeah, what's going to happen at the Brexit vote? Virtually everyone says she's going to lose by a huge margin. I think she'll just get it through. I do. I think she'll just get it through because she's a bit of a survivor, that one, isn't she? Every time, she's going to be gone tomorrow, this, that, and that, and she's not. She's still there. What a strong lady. I think she might still get that through. We'll see later on, won't we? We'll see later on. But Brexit, you know, you've got, when you talk about politics, we do, of course, all have our own opinions of stuff, but we are not experts. We're not experts. I couldn't do a programme sitting here talking about politics because you would need to know everything there is to know about them. When you listen to these blokes on LBC, I'm not really a fan of LBC anymore. I used to be. But it is all politics. It is all serious stuff now. There's no fun on there anymore, except for Steve Allen's show, of course. And Clive Bull, he still does. Oh, by the way, on the Clive Bull show, he only does weekends now. Remember I said to you they'd removed all these specialist shows that they used to have at 9 o'clock? So it's within the Clive Bull show, they used to have experts, maybe technology or health or mortgages or rent arrears, anything like that. They'd have someone on every night at 9 o'clock. Clive's only on at the weekend now, and I switched on Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and they had a specialist person on there. Now, what was he doing? Consumer affairs. You know, so if you buy something from a shop and you have to take it back, what are your rights and all that. He was doing that. So I think he's doing the specialists again. So that's at 9 o'clock on Sunday nights, LBC. Clive Bull, give him a try. He's very good. Very, very good indeed. All right. What was I saying? Yeah, I think old Theresa May, I think she'll get that through. I think she'll just scrape that through again. She's a bit of a survivor, that wasn't she? Morning to Tony Carroll in Foxton, New Zealand. Morning, Tony. Do you know we have estate agents here called Foxtons? Did you know that? There's an interesting fact for you. Have you been named after an estate agent? How strange. What jobs are you in, Chris? Tony wants to know. I host karaoke. That's what I do. I'm a karaoke host. All right, that's all I do now. I used to be a DJ as well, but now I just do karaoke nights. Okay. Good morning to. Let's see. Is this Maureen here? Over on the texting number. One moment, please. Don't forget, you can text a message if you want to, boys and girls. That is only a text number. It doesn't take calls, so if you ring it, you won't get an answer. It's a text number only. But Maureen says, good morning, Chris. Super drunk mouth ulcer pastels. No sugar, very good. Or maybe I should try those then. Yeah, because I've got it, and it's right on my tongue, this ulcer. Very, very annoying. Right, there. Quite large, right on the side of the tongue. I think I might have done that with chip the other day. I've got good news for chip lovers. Coming soon, only on this programme, okay? Dave Anthony, good morning. If Angie texts you, tell her she's a pain in the arse. Dave from Brighton. No one has texted me yet, Dave. All right? Adrian, are you trying to confuse people looking at you, or which fruit you look at? That very big decision. One with a cold sore, or one with the pockets confusion. Dear me. Did you hit the land speed record of going 60 miles an hour? What was the mile per gallon target for driving in your record driving time? Oh, no, that's right down. Usually I can get about 55 miles to the gallon. That's going between Berkshire and London. Coming up here, it's more like 40. Okay, it's about 40 miles to the gallon. Because obviously I do go, when I go to Bracknell from London, I'm only doing 55 mile an hour on the motorway. Come up here, I'm doing 70. You know, so yeah, of course it goes down. The Reverend turned up. Yes, that's right, Roy. I'm very pleased to announce the Reverend David turned up last night. I was starting to get a bit concerned about him because I hadn't seen him for a few weeks. Turns out he wanted to have a rest from everything, so that's cool and that's good. You know, sometimes when you keep going to the same place all the time, it does become boring. So you should always take a break. Don't just keep going. Otherwise, you do get bored. I would be the same, you know, going to the same place all the time. All right. Good morning to the lovely Michaela. Good morning, Michaela. Hope you had a nice weekend, darling. All right, Michaela. Katie Ann Patterson doesn't like the cold. Neither do I, Katie. What about those people that go skiing? Must be off their heads. Why would you want to stand out there in the cold for hours on end, hurtling down roads that you might fall off the side of? Michaela likes the jacket. Thank you, Michaela. I might wear this again on Friday. The Friday lot haven't seen it yet, have they? Roy's going for a camera down his throat today. Oh, are you really? Pick you up video bombing in my stomach. I've had a camera up the nose 3 times, which isn't a pleasant experience. I haven't had one down the throat. Will you be what's the word? Not put out. Tranquilized, sort of, you know. So you're like, like that. Are you having some of that? So you won't know what's going on, or you just start going in cold. Which are you having? You know, well, good luck with that. Let us know how that happens, okay? Boop, 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 boop. Hello to Michael. Morning, Michael. Sean likes the pineapple. Perhaps I can do he says, what about a strawberry jacket? Yeah, I might have a strawberry jacket as well. What's your opinion on climate change, says Dave. I think it's happening. Absolutely. I think climate change is happening. Is there anything we can do about it? There's a lot that we could do about it, but I don't think we will. I don't think we will, because people are just worried about their money all the time. You know, how much is it going to cost? The fact that everyone's going to be dead in a couple of 100 years' time because of climate change or something like that is neither here nor there, just so that they can have an extra 50 quid in their pocket now. No, I don't think it can be sorted. I really don't. I think we can try. Certain countries do try. I think Norway or Sweden or Switzerland, one of those, is way ahead with electric cars and this, that and the other. So I don't know. That's my opinion on climate change. Good morning to Karim. Morning, Karim. Long time no see. Wonder where you've got to. Morning, Karim. Welcome back. I'm very well indeed, thank you. Mark, morning to Mark Kempner. Morning. Chris Manzar. Good morning, Chris. Dino is in the house. Morning, Dino. Roy's not having any that's the word, sedation. Roy's not having any sedation because he's a real man. Thank you, Roy. I had a camera up the other end once. I didn't have sedation then either. They were very impressed with the way I took it. All right, let's have a look here. You're right, Karim. You lovely man. I hope you're well there. Let's have a look there. Right, just a moment now. Back over onto the other one. There's a lot of people going on about Brexit. We really don't do that stuff, the whole Brexit thing. I know you're trying to have a conversation. I leave that to LBC. Tony says, the problem about Brexit, Chris, is that the politicians are not giving the press or the public straight answers. She will lose the vote, but not by as many votes as people think. So that's Tony's opinion there. John can't find the jackets. Rose Gal, ROSEGAL. Okay? ROSEGAL.com. rosegal.com. Remember, they're in China. It will take a number of weeks to get those jackets through the post. That's just how it is, all right? Good. That's that. Are we down to the end of that? Oh, Kareem's in hospital. What are you in hospital for, mate? Oh, I didn't know that. Where are you? In the Hammersmith Hospital or somewhere like that? Or what's that one called in Hammersmith? Charing Cross. It's a bit weird, isn't it, Kareem? Charing Cross Hospital is in Hammersmith. I don't make sense to me that. Am I right there? Charing Cross Hospital is in Hammersmith. I'm sure it is. Somewhere like that. What's up, Kareem? You need visitors? I'm miles away from you at the moment, I'm afraid. All the way up in Lincolnshire. Well, I am till Friday. Very sorry about that, mate. I must get down to Skegness one daytime. A friend of mine does... he'd be on the radio at the moment, actually. Tuck. I can't remember his name now. Tuck, something like that. What's his name? Gosh, his name's gone right out my head. Anyway, he does a little radio show on an online station, Skegness Coastal Sounds Radio, and I keep meaning to go down there and have a little check-up. Also, they've got an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet down there, so I must pop down there at some point. I have been sent a couple of little messages from various people about some jobs. A job going at BBC Radio Lincolnshire, not far from here. And it's a once a week show that they've got to be done, and they're doing auditions. And I read the advert yesterday, and the auditions are like, they seem to have done it like the X Factor. So it told you the instructions, and for 60 seconds you go in and you tell them all about yourself, right? And there's 3 of them sitting there, and if they all say yes, you go through to the next round. And I thought, oh no, I can't be doing anything like that. No, I've no confidence in doing something like that. Funny, isn't it, really? I could sit here and talk to you for hours, but to go in and sort of in a competitive scenario, I'm not so good at something like that. You know, let's be honest. While I'm sitting here, you know, I just do my own thing. Whether or not anyone's watching or listening or not makes no difference to me. I can just sit here and do my thing and not worry about anything else. Whereas on BBC, you've got all these rules, and to actually sit in front of 3 people trying to get I just can't do something like that. Funny, isn't it, really? That's just how I am. Oh, there's Kareem. There we are. He can't stand up and he gets dizzy. Oh, do they know what it is, Kareem? Do they know what it is? Because you're only young. Is it? Are you eating properly? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Well, I hope you get well soon. Let's have a look. Yes, Charing Cross Hospital's in Hammersmith. I always find that amusing, the fact that because there is a road called Charing Cross and an area in London, Charing Cross. You've got the station there, but the hospital's nowhere near it. It's in Hammersmith. Strange and mysterious. That's what it is, Kareem. Let's have a look. Adrian, behave, Chris. I'm having breakfast. That thought of the camera disappearing. Now, talking of food, I've got some excellent news here for Slimmers World fans. Are you a fan of Slimmers World? Who does the Slimmers World? There is a couple of you on there. Now, where are we? Let me find this story for you. Chips is the story. Now, you already know you can do Slimmers World chips yourself. Okay? It's very easy. You just get a potato, you cut it up, and you give it a little bit of spray light, or whatever it's called, spray light or fry light all over there. And that's how it works. Now, where's my links gone? Oh, just a minute. I've lost my stories. Where are they gone? Monday the 15th. Oh, that's why I've put Monday instead of Tuesday, haven't I? There we are. One moment, please. Yeah, so you can do them yourself. You get a potato, chop it up, a few bits of spray light or fry light, whatever it's called, shove them in the oven on about 200, around about 220 centigrade for about 20 to 25 minutes. Watch out. Now, once they start turning brown, they will go quickly. So don't let them turn brown a little bit and disappear for 10 minutes, because when you come back, they will be black. Well, some people like black chips, don't they? I like black, really well-cooked burgers, vegetarian burgers. I like them to be well-cooked. None of this softness in the middle. Oh, no, dear. Not cooked properly, are they? Anyway, you might not have to make your chips anymore, Slimmer World people. You ready for this? Look at this. In this morning's Super Soaraway Daily Mail online, Slimming World has unveiled its own frozen oven chips that contain half the calories of rival McCain's. The Slimming World chunky chips are the first in the UK to have been grilled instead of fried before being frozen, making them a healthier option for shoppers. The chips, which are £2.25, will be available at Iceland stores and online later this month. Will also be added to the Slimming World free food list. Now, the Slimming World free food list is a list of foods, and it's very extensive. And these foods you can eat as much as you want. There is no limit. You can stuff these chips in your face until you are sick, and they will help you lose weight. That is the whole thing about Slimming World, is that you're never hungry. Okay, you might have to change some things you eat, and you might have to change the way you cook them. But if you stick to the free foods list, you are laughing. It always works. Don't let anyone tell you the Slimming World thing doesn't work. You get some people say, oh yeah, my mate used to go to Slimming World, you know, he done really well. He lost 2 stone in weight, but he's put it all on again. And then you say to him, does he still go? And then he answers, no. That's why you put it on again, mate. You can't lose the weight and then it stays off. You've got to stay on that path. Mine's gone up just under a stone. So I lost 2 stone. I've put on just under a stone. It's kind of steadied itself at 12 stone 13. I'm just a bit over 12 stone 13. Last week I lost a pound. But I've been eating ice creams, a few chocolates, a couple of bags of crisps, you know. But it is stable there at the moment. Now, if I want to get back down to 12, I've got to cut all those things out. I'm not ready to do that at the moment. Maybe the 2 months when I'm not coming up to Lincolnshire and I haven't got family about, then I might be able to do it. But with family, very difficult. Very difficult. The story goes on. Do the chips taste as good? Females Jessica Ratch put them to the test at home and was surprised by the rest. She's very pretty. Would you like to see her, boys? We've got any of the straight lads watching. Here. Look at her. Very nice. Very nice. Here, Karim, there's a nice young lady for you. She looks very nice. Would you like me to give her your phone number? Do you want her phone number? She might like you, Karim. Hey, how about that young lady visiting you in hospital? That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it, eh? Right, let's see it. She writes, she said, I was initially sceptical about the idea of low-calorie chips, but I'm not generally a fan of diet-related foods. I don't think any of us are really, are we? You know, I mean, you know when you go around people's houses, I don't know, you've got a bag of chips or something like that, or do you want one of my, oh no, thank you, I've got my lunch, and they produce a salad. You know, a couple of lettuce leaves, half a tomato and a few bits of cucumber on the plate, and I don't think they're enjoying it. I'm sorry, I don't. I think they're pretending to enjoy it. Absolutely, they're pretending to enjoy. They don't enjoy it. I mean, how can you enjoy eating a lettuce leaf? How can that be an enjoyable experience? She says, they were, however, delicious, crispy and fluffy on the inside, with the potato skin making them outstanding. She says, I'm a big fan of McDonald's fries, but these chips really measured up to them, and you couldn't taste that they were grilled rather than fried at all. And it goes on, I'll definitely get them again. Just watch out if you don't leave them in the oven for longer than 20 minutes if you don't own cooking spray. There you are, you see, so watch that time in the oven, okay? Give it 15 minutes and then keep checking. As soon as they start going brown, be very careful because they go from brown to black so quick. They really do. The Slimming World Chunky Chips contain just 104 calories and 0.3 grams of fat per 100 grams serving, which roughly equals a full plate, or 62.4 calories for a 60 gram serving, and can be warmed up in the oven from frozen in 20 minutes. I'm certainly getting some of these. Doesn't look like they're available yet. But they look absolutely delicious. The packaged frozen fries are based on a popular recipe among the Slimming World community, which takes about 45 minutes to make from scratch. No, it doesn't. Where did they get that from, 45 minutes? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, the way I do Slimming World chips, okay, I get the potato, I chop it up, I spray the metal thing, you know, you put in the oven. Then I put the chips on there. I space them out. You know, I don't chuck them on. I space them out so like little soldiers all in a line along their lines. And then I give them a bit of that spray stuff and then in the oven. That's how I do them. But the actual way to do them is preheat the oven to 200 centigrade. Boil the chips in a saucepan of boiling water for 5 minutes. Drain well, return to the pan and cover, leave to cool slightly, then shake the pan to roughen the edges, line the baking tray, arrange the chips in a single layer, spray with the spray, bake for 20 minutes or until, so there is a little bit more involved there if you want to boil them. But I've never found it necessary to actually boil them, really. I just shove them in the oven and that's it. You know, easily done, isn't it? Easily done. Over onto some of your messages. Adrian says, good morning to Jürgen. Morning, Jürgen. Welcome along, Jürgen. Glad I can be here again. Not much time, but always enjoy the people on the show. I'm glad you do, sir. Keep up the good work. It's only like a little bit of a chat between a few friends in the morning. That's what we do here, isn't it? Tony had an operation in Charing Cross Hospital on the Fulham Road. Oh, is it Fulham Road? Yeah, Fulham Road, of course. Marvellous place. I had a spontaneous pneumothorax and they really looked after me. Oh, is that where they have to put the little pipe into your chest or a straw? Don't they have to stick a hole in your chest and put a pipe in and then they take the little top off, like in Casualty, and they take the top off and they go, psss, like that, doesn't it? Is that what you had? Fulham Palace Road. Is it Fulham Palace Road? Okay. Why is there now a white light bulb shape on the backdrop above the boat trees? So there is. Where's that coming from? Oh, there's a little gap in the curtain. A little gap in the curtain. Yeah, look. Is that it? Let me sort that out now. Oh dear! Oh, you just saw my tummy! That's Roy Brownlowe's fault. That is. That's his fault. Moaning, you see. That's why you saw my tummy. Not a very pleasant look, is it? Adrian, being diabetic, you can't have that much potato. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were restricted with your potato as a diabetic. So it's not very good for diabetic Slimming World or fat finders or fat fighters, whichever one that is. He gets very confused, Adrian, I think, with all these Weight Watcher things, don't you? Mark O'Toole, what the heck is this? I don't know, haven't you been watching? You should know by now, Mark. If you don't like it, turn it off. It's as simple as that. Mr. Brother, a very good morning to Mr. Brother on YouTube. Which part of England are you from? London. South London I'm from. I'm not in South London now, but that's where I'm from, okay? A spontaneous pneumothorax is where a lung collapses. Yeah, I thought it was. If air collects in the pleural space, trapped air in the pleural space prevents your lung from filling with air and the lung collapses. Yeah, it's that thing, isn't it? Psst, psst, as it opens up. Yes. That's your fault, Roy. If you hadn't moaned about the little light on the wall there, you wouldn't have seen my stomach, would you? It's your own fault. You've only got yourself to blame on that one, sir. Thank you very much. Awful. Mr. Blobby, Mr. Blobby. Now, how about sandwiches? Do you like sandwiches? Who does the best sandwiches? Maureen does the best sandwiches. They all arrive cut up in little squares and in little plastic bags. Ever ordered a sandwich on a plane? Well, wait till I show you this. A man in the Daily Mirror this morning. A man has revealed his disappointment at discovering what was in the trio of sandwiches he paid £5 for on a recent flight with Jetstar Airways. There's the picture. Isn't that awful? That's a sandwich. Look at it. I can't show it to you like that because it blurs out. But here. Can you see that? That was his sandwiches. Jetstar Airways. I think they're American, aren't they? It says, sometimes when you're feeling a little peckish, you can't just beat a good sandwich. And it's true. That's exactly, here we are, yes, how one man felt when hunger struck on a recent flight from Bali to Australia. Brighton-based marketing and events writer Nick Mosley, in the Mirror this morning, really fancied a good sarnie doing his Jetstar Airways plane journey. So he'd ordered himself a daily sandwich trio. But when he received his sandwiches, he was left feeling less than impressed with the contents, and his stomach, unfortunately, ending up remaining rather empty. He paid $9 Australian, which is about £5, for his lunch. Nick was shocked to discover that it was somewhat lacking. One soggy sandwich contained some margarine and a single lettuce leaf. That's it, is it? Another was the same, but had a little bit of egg on it as well. Here it is, look, there's another picture there. Can you see that? That's his sandwiches. £5 for that. Outrageous. I think it's the same on Ryanair sells sandwiches, don't they? And I don't know what they're like. I've never had. I would never go on a Ryanair plane. Do you know they got voted the worst airline, didn't they? A couple of weeks ago, I meant to bring that story up, but it's for like the 5th year in a row. Oh, you got to be a mug to go on there. Why would you want to go on it? Oh, because it's cheap. Cheap isn't always good, as you have realised. The people that fly on Ryanair, ghastly company. They don't give a toss about their customers. Why would you ever want to fly on there? He tweeted, this bloke, great for the bottom line, but not so very good at filling the tums of customers. And Jetstar Airways replied to the tweet saying they would look into the issue further. We're a bit late now. He's eating it, mate. A spokesman for the company later offered Nick a full refund. What, £5? And said, we apologise for the unusual lack of filling in Mr. Mosley's sandwich and appreciate it did not meet expectations. Despite the apology, Nick told The Sun that the sandwich made a petrol station food look like a gastronomic feast. Now, you see, I've bought sandwiches in petrol stations. And I mean, they're nowhere near as nice as Maureen's, I have to say. But they're okay. They tend to be all right. They come in a little plastic thing and they're all wrapped up and all that. And I don't think I've ever had a bad sandwich from a petrol station, really. And you can get them reasonably priced. You can also get them hideously priced. Do not buy a sandwich in a BP garage. Say goodbye to a £5 for that and a can of drink. Oh, it's shocking. How we ever got convinced that a sandwich, a bag of crisps and a can of Coca-Cola is a meal, I do not know. Now that to me as a child was always a snack. Oh, do you want a little snack? I'll do you a sandwich. It's not a meal. How did we get convinced? They started telling us it was a meal, didn't they? It's like, and I have to say the same about McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all those things. To me, going to McDonald's is a snack. That's not a dinner out. You see all these families traipsing into McDonald's on a Sunday afternoon for their main dinner. That's not a dinner. It's a snack. But it is more of a meal, I have to say, than buying a sandwich, a bag of crisps and a can of a drink, as a meal deal in BP garage. or wherever. In the Shell garages, they're a little bit cheaper in there. The best place to buy sandwiches in a supermarket. If you can find a like a little Waitrose or a Tesco's, something like that, attached to a service station, to a petrol garage, you'll get a reasonably good deal in there. You get a sandwich. What am I happy paying for a sandwich? Maximum £2.20, absolute maximum. I've seen sandwiches in BP, I think the BLT ones, which of course I don't eat anymore, but they were going like £4 or £5 for a sandwich. 2 bits of bread. Are you for real? Must make a fortune on these sandwiches, these places, mustn't they? Of course, if you really want to go and save money and do it properly, do it yourself. Nothing stopping you going to get a loaf of bread and a bit of like those little cut up cheese things, or you can get a block of cheese, cut it up yourself, bit of cucumber in there, lettuce. What's that going to cost you? About 50 pence, 40 pence, 30 pence per sandwich. And how many sandwiches are you going to get out of that loaf of bread? That's because we're lazy. It's like the people who go and buy tea every day or coffee every day from Starbucks. They come out their little offices. Oh, I just fancy a cup of coffee. And they go in there and they spend £2.50 on another cup of coffee or a tea in Starbucks. That's £2.50, one drink. My guess is they go in there twice a day. So that's a £5. Over the week, that's £25. Over the month, that's £100. People are spending £100 a month, plus more, because you can guarantee sometimes they go, well, just have a little bit of cake there. Have you seen a slice of cake in Starbucks? £2.40 for a bloody slice of cake. And the best one is when some of these Starbucks are attached to supermarkets. In Bracknell, in Berkshire, we have one attached to the Sainsbury's, right? And you can go in there, and there's people sitting there with their cups of tea, £2.50, and their bit of cake, another £2.50, right? Sainsbury's is next door. They are selling whole cakes for £1. Or go down Aldi. You get a whole cake for about 60 pence in there. No, they want to go into Starbucks, get a little bit of cake, and tie a little bit of wrapping over it. They rip the plastic off and shove that thing in their fat faces. It's disgusting. It really is. They must make an absolute fortune on cakes and sandwiches and things like that when you go out, mustn't they? When you think about it. It's madness. Absolute madness. Adam, do you know that with Slimming World, they tailor your lifestyle change to any dietary needs that you may have? So if you've got diabetes, Adrian, then you just tell them that, and they change it according to your illness, is what Adam says. Adam's much more into it than I am. Any conditions, they make a plan just for you, if you want to do it. But you see, the thing is with these things, Adrian, and I include myself in this, you have got to want to do it. You've got to want to go to Slimming World and lose weight. If it doesn't bother you, or you can't be bothered, which is where I am at the moment. Okay, I can't be bothered to go to a group. I'm trying to do it myself, but I do fall off the wagon quite a lot. Whereas you find if you go to a group, you do tend to stick to it. It's when you stop going to the group, then your weight starts creeping up. You know, you weigh yourself the next week. Oh, it's gone up £0.5 £1. Oh, that's okay. It's only £0.5 £1. Then the next week, it's gone up another £1. Well, it's only £1.5 £1. That's okay. And before you know, you've put a stone back on. That's where I am. Of course, we've also had the Christmas thing and endless chocolates and wonderful cooking at my sister's house as well for Christmas dinner and all that sort of thing. But yeah, they'll tailor it to whatever you need, according to Adam there, all right? Poor old Roy, non-stop talk of food because I can't eat for 6 hours before the operation. Oh, it's not an operation, it's a procedure. Stop blowing it out of all proportion, Roy. I mean, just worry if they put it up the wrong end, mate. Chris, I thought I saw the EEC butter mountain when you stood up then. This is one I haven't got many, but since I put the stone back on, I can't do the buttons up at the bottom. But I didn't think that mattered because you're not supposed to. It's only because Roy started moaning about something on the back wall there that you saw that. Oh dear. Hello to Lewis Bannerman. Good morning, Lewis. Long time no see, my little friend. It must be over a year since I saw you. Lewis always flies Ryanair. Never had a problem. I think they're good. He said, well, they're basic, but I've never had an issue with them. Staff are always attentive as well. So Lewis has been on the old Ryanair, you see, and he likes it. That's his experience. I was seeing one of the DJs who are actually going to do my old job. They're doing my old job at the moment that I did. Years ago, I used to go on this alternative holiday thing, and I would DJ and host in France and Italy. I only did it for 1 week a year, and I did that for a number of years. It was a great job. But they took us on Ryanair, and it was always a bit of a job getting the CDs on. Fortunately, I wasn't on records. I was on CDs, and I had 2 cases of CDs, and they wanted to charge me for those. And then I opened the case, and I started putting the CDs in my pocket. She's like, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to carry them in my pockets, so I won't have to it won't cost me so much. I was taking all the CDs, just putting them in my pockets. You know, so the bag would weigh less. They get you for everything, though, don't they? If you've got a bag that's slightly over, you'll get charged for it. That's how they work. Tony, I was most impressed with the British Airways grub on my flight when I went to San Francisco last year. Yeah, I've never really had a complaint about... Well, if I've got a complaint about the food, you see, the trouble is when I go on these long journeys, I save up the money and I go on the business class. Well, the food is a bit poncy on those flights. Do you know what I mean by that? You know, like if you were ordering steak and chips. You know, I would want steak and chips. Not steak covered in some sort of poncy sauce what tastes odd. And I ordered a vegan thing on the last flight, and this thing came, and he took the top off, and he just stood there, and he said, "Oh, do you really want that?" And I said, "Well, I'm not so sure now." He said, "Well, let us know. I'll get you something else if you don't want that." And I'd specially ordered this thing. Generally, the food I've found is always okay on planes, but if you sit in the posh seats, you'll get something what I call poncy, where they've mucked about with it. It's not plain. Give me some roast potatoes and a veggie burger. I'm happy with that. Not like swordfish surprise or you know, diced guinea fowl or something like that. Oh no, dear. Normal food. That's what I like. Or just give us a couple of cheese sandwiches. I'm happy with that. Katie, I've seen mums at McDonald's after school. The kids go home and then have dinner. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Children, but that's a normal thing now. You see, children go to McDonald's after school. I've noticed when we go to the McDonald's in Skegness, and we usually get there late at night, me, my sister, and my brother-in-law. There's always some young people in there. It's kind of like their like little place to meet. Whereas when we were kids, we used to meet at Scouts, for example. We used to go to Scouts once a week, or I might go over Wimbledon Common with my friends, or down Richmond Park. My friend on his bike, Peter Watts, used to go cycling around Richmond Park there. Happy times. Now they all seem to meet up in McDonald's, and you go in, and generally they're quite well behaved. Sometimes you get a dodgy one in there. There was a dodgy one in there a couple of Wednesdays ago. It was a Wednesday or a Thursday night we were in there, and the police were outside, and he kept hiding from the police and disappearing into the toilet. So we think he was up to no good. But then when he spoke to us, he was perfectly all right. I can't remember what he said now. Or we said something to him, or he said something to him, and he was perfectly all right. But as soon as he saw the police, he was in and out of the toilet. So I don't know what he was hiding, probably flashing stuff down the toilet for all I know. I don't know. Cheese bread under the grill. Cheese bread, yeah, it depends really on the cheese, I think. Now, I like garlic bread. I like garlic bread. I don't like cheesy garlic. I don't know why they put cheese on everything. Cheesy garlic bread, no. Cheesy chips, no. I mean, there's enough calories in chips. And you just know some bonzo's going to go and get some Slimming World chips, put them in the oven and put cheese on the top of them. What's the point of that? Jürgen keeps losing the stream, do you? Looks all right to me. I think it's just you, Jürgen. Might be just you, mate. Perhaps you try on the YouTube. YouTube.com/Chris Wynn UK is where you find us on the YouTube, all right? Tony on the British Airways asked for seconds and was almost told, take what you were given. Bit like in Oliver Twist and Bumblebee and saying, what more? 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 All right. Right, let's do another little story here. I've always got lots and lots of stories lined up here to read you, and we never get to any of them. 1 minute now. Let's have a look here. Which one am I going to do? Oh, spiders. Who likes spiders? Do you like spiders? No, didn't think so. Didn't think so. Well, Brazil is not where you want to be. A young boy has filmed the incredible moment it began raining spiders in Brazil. I kid you not, leaving him stunned and scared. Hundreds of the 8-legged invaders can be seen floating in the sky in the astonishing clip captured in a rural area of southern Minas Gerais state. I don't know how to say that. Although the spiders appear to be falling from the sky, they are actually being suspended by a massive web they have spun to catch the prey. And here's a picture of them. Look, can you see that there? Maybe not. It's blurring out. There's lots of little dots on there, and there's spiders. The extraordinary phenomenon is caused by the hot, humid weather, according to experts. It's a tactic to increase the area for catching food, usually insects. Silk threads act as parachutes, so the rain of spiders is also called ballooning, a biologist explained. This young lad, 14 he was, filmed the scene while travelling to his grandparents' farm and was stunned by the black dots in the sky, especially when one fell inside inside the car. And it says there are many more webs and spiders than you can see in the video. So I don't like the idea of that, I'm afraid. Oh, hang on a minute. Where's that going? Oh, what have I done there? These... Oh, there we are. That's it. Can you see that better on that one or not? Can you see the black dots? They're all spiders, they are. Scary. We don't like spiders, dear. Evil 8-legged things. Good morning to Vecthelion. Jurgen's on the YouTube now. Yeah, see if that one works a little bit better for you. You will find often a better experience on YouTube, I have to say. It just seems to work better than the whole Facebook Live thing. Lewis, the McDonald's where I am in Walthamstow is a no-go zone. The youths that go in there after school are not the type of people you want to be around. They're all the same, plenty of security, but they make no difference at all. These awful, awful youths. Now, you say that, Lewis. Last night, on the way to Central Station, coming from Bracknell in Berkshire, so I'm on that Euston Road and I'm sitting in this traffic. And then suddenly went flying past me this boy, 14 years old, right, on a bike doing a wheelie, zigzagging out of all the cars. And it was chock-a-block that road last night. And then I thought, well, where did he come from? And then there was about another 10 of them, all weaving in and out of the traffic, some of them doing wheelies like that. I thought any minute now one's going to smash into the back of my car, and he didn't, to be honest. There was about 10 of them going along the Euston Road, wheeling in and out they were. Frightening it was. Absolutely frightening. Oh dear, I never did that. I don't think I'd do a wheelie. Could you I suppose you could break your back trying to do a wheelie or something like that, couldn't you? Eh? Oh, that's funny. That's reminded me of a dream I had last night. I had a dream last night that I had roller skates, electric ones. Yeah. And let me just think. These electric skates, I kept bumping on them. Like, it wasn't smooth. Anyway, I took one off and the wheel had deteriorated where it was so long. And I was trying to decide where to buy some light-up electric roller skates. Do those actually exist, I wonder? I know the light-up ones exist, don't they? You can get light-up roller skates. Can you get electric roller skates? You wouldn't have to move your... I mean, how lazy is that? Can't even be bothered to move your feet forward. But I think with roller skates, you need a fairly flat thing. If you've got pavements and any of them are sticking up, or like a cobbly road type thing, they can't be used. Got to have a flat thing for those. Oh, yes, I like the sound of that. Light up roller skates. Katie says, have you seen Charlotte's Wedding at the end of Charlotte's Charlotte's Babies. I don't know what that is. Charlotte's Wedding. Charlotte's Wedding. I don't know what that is, darling. Is that a film of some sort? I'd like to go and see a film this week, actually. The Lauren Hardy biopic thing. That's on at the moment. I think Ray Reynolds, he either went to see it yesterday or he's going today. I think Ray Reynolds there. He's a bit quiet today. Don't tell me his messages aren't coming through again. Just a reminder, gang, if you can't get your messages through, use the Facebook thing, the direct message thing, and I'll pick them up on there. There's one here, actually. Let's just pick this up and do this. Oh, no, that's from someone else. Someone else selling, please look and share, which I never do. Do you share stuff much? You know when you get that thing, please share, do you ignore that or what? You know, please share this to raise awareness of people stepping on ants or something like that. They do, don't they? Anyway, let's do today's birthdays, gang. 66 years old today on this Tuesday, the 15th of January 2019, to Brian Popple. Good morning, Brian. 66 years old today. Happy birthday, Brian. Simon Bell today is 70 years old. Good morning, Simon. Happy birthday, Simon. Martin O'Connor is a young 29 years old today. Morning, Martin. And Det Reed, who does lots of internet radio. He likes it. I think you like hard house or techno, one of the two, don't you? Happy birthday to you, Dec, all right, up in Scotland there. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. There we are. Happy birthday, gang. Decathlon. Strap on the wrist guards and fray your joints. Electric carbon fibre inline skates have finally arrived. Have they? Oh, I'm going to have a look for those. Electric skates, yes. And good morning to Joanna. You join us right at the very end of the show, Joanna. You're so late, darling. But never mind. You can always catch it up on the Chris Reardon player. All right. Also known as youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. Join us on the YouTube. youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. Hit the subscribe button on there and you'll always get a little notification. We do get all the messages from YouTube. That never seems to be a problem. Facebook, sometimes they don't always come through. The text messages do come through. Periscope messages don't come through at all. Funny, isn't it? But you can't have all these different screens up. You just get completely confused then. That's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us, gang. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. It's right ahead of you. I shall be going swimming soon after taking my pills and had another cup of tea. Oh, we do like a cup of tea. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see you again, hopefully tomorrow morning. Bye-bye now.